Hello everyone, myself Vinay Kumar M. I am actually pursuing PhD in physics. So in this particular YouTube channel, I will be teaching physics, chemistry and mathematics starting from 8th standard till 12th standard. So if you want to learn physics, chemistry and mathematics, then please do subscribe to my channel. In my last video, I was actually explaining the 10th chapter of 8th standard science subject is sound. So I have already explained the explanation related to sound chapter, and I have also explained various terminologies which is present in that particular sound chapter. So in this particular video, I will be solving the exercise questions which is present in this sound chapter. Coming to the first question in this particular exercise, they have asked sound can travel through what and what. So they have given four options. So first option is solid, second is liquid, third is gas, fourth is all solid, liquid and gas. So here the correct option for first question is option D. Why? Because if you refer my previous video, I have explained that sound can travel through solids, sound can also travel through liquids and sound can also travel through gases. So correct option for this first question is option D. So coming to the second question in this particular exercise, which particular sound has minimum frequency? A sound generated by a girl baby, or a sound generated by a boy baby, a sound generated by a man, or a sound generated by a woman? So here actually the answer is option C, man, because man has lesser frequency in his voice. Because if you refer my previous video, I have actually explained female voice has higher frequency and male voice has lower frequency, but male voice has higher amplitude, hence the loudness of male voice is more, but frequency of female voice is more. So comparing with male voice and female voice, then male voice has lesser frequency. Comparing to adult and a baby voice will be having higher frequency. So here a baby girl and baby boy will be having higher frequency, a female will also have an higher frequency, a man will be having lesser frequency compared to all these four. So that's why correct option for this second question is option C, man. Coming to the third question, they have asked a set of true or false. So coming to the first question in this particular third question, that is A question, they have mentioned that sound cannot travel through vacuum. Is it true or false? It is actually true, because sound always requires some medium to propagate. But in vacuum there will be no air medium, no liquid medium, no solid medium, hence sound cannot travel through vacuum. Hence answer for this A question will be true. So coming to the B question, they have given a statement where it states that number of vibrations which is generated in 1 second is actually time period. It is actually wrong, because number of vibration which is actually generated in one particular second is actually frequency of that particular sound, or frequency which is generated by that particular object. So the correct answer for this B is false, because it is not time period, it is actually frequency. Coming to the C question in this third question, if the amplitude of a sound is greater, then the sound will be very feeble. No, it is actually false, because when amplitude is more, the loudness of that particular sound will be more. Hence the sound cannot be feeble when amplitude is more. Hence the answer for this C question is false. Coming to the D question, for human ears, the range of hearing sound is between 20 Hz and 20,000 Hz. That is actually true. If you refer my previous video, I have explained that human ear can only hear certain kind of sound which has frequency in between 20 Hz and 20,000 Hz or 20 kilohertz, because 20,000 Hz is also known as 20 kilohertz. So they have given the correct statement, hence answer for D question is true. Coming to the E question, the lower frequency of vibration accounts for higher pitch. No, actually when frequency is high, then only the pitch will be high. Only when there is lesser frequency, the pitch will be low. But here they have given higher frequency will have lower pitch. So the correct answer for E question is false. Coming to the F question, unpleasant sound is actually music. No, unpleasant sound is known as noise. Only pleasant sound is known as music, but they have given unpleasant sound as music. So answer for F question is false. Coming to the G question, they are actually stating that noise pollution will cause partial hearing impairment in human beings. That is actually true, because when you expose your ears for a noise pollution for a longer time, then there are chances that you may lose certain amount of hearing. So certain amount of hearing impairment can happen. Hence they have given the correct statement here. So the answer for G question will be true. So coming to the fourth question, they have asked fill in the blanks. So coming to the first question in this particular fourth question, time taken by an object to complete one oscillation is actually known as what? It is actually known as time period, because the number of vibration which happens in 1 second is actually frequency, and the time taken for one vibration to happen is actually the time period of that particular oscillation. So coming to the B question, loudness of a sound is actually accounted by the amplitude of that particular sound. Only when amplitude of a sound is higher, loudness will be higher. When amplitude of a sound is less, then the loudness of that particular sound will be less. So answer for B question is amplitude. Coming to the C question, they have asked the SI unit for frequency. So the SI unit of frequency is hertz. So how many vibrations happen in 1 second is actually the frequency of that particular sound, which is actually measured using hertz. Coming to the D question in this particular fourth question, unwanted sound is actually called as noise. Coming to the E question, shrillness of a sound is actually determined by dash of vibrations. It is actually frequency of vibration, because if you refer my previous video, I have mentioned that shrillness is known as pitch. So pitch or shrillness is actually accounted by frequency. So here the correct answer for E question is frequency of vibration actually determines the shrillness of that particular sound or the pitch of that particular sound. Coming to the fifth question, they have asked to calculate time period and frequency of a particular sound which has 40 oscillations in 4 seconds. So they have given number of oscillations and they have given time of that particular oscillations. So the formula for frequency is number of oscillation happening divided by time taken for that oscillations to complete. So you might refer my previous video for this, where I have explained how much oscillations happen in one particular second actually determines the frequency of sound. So the formula will be number of oscillations divided by time. So the number of oscillations here is 40 and time taken for that number of oscillations to happen is 4 seconds. So here you can actually calculate this. 4 ones are 4 tens are 40. So the answer is 10 hertz. So frequency of this particular sound is actually 10 hertz. So coming to the second part in this question, they have asked time period. Time period is actually time taken for one oscillation to happen. So here you can see 4 seconds is actually taken for 40 oscillations to happen. Now we have to calculate how much time will be taken for one oscillation to happen. That will actually account for the time period. So you can actually cross multiply this and you can actually get the answer. So time period of that particular sound will be 1 into 4 seconds. So here 1 oscillation into 4 seconds. So here in denominator 40 oscillations will be there. So if you cross multiply this, you will get this. So time period is equal to 1 oscillation. This is actually O. So 1 oscillation into 4 seconds divided by 40 oscillation. So now if you calculate this, so here it is 4 ones are 4 tens are 40. So here oscillation and oscillation cancel. So second remains as it is. So here time period T is actually equal to 1 divided by 10. So 1 divided by 10 is actually 0.1 and this second is there. So here the answer for this time period is 0.1 second. That means this particular sound has 0.1 second time period, and in 1 second it is actually vibrating 10 times. So that is actually 10 hertz frequency, and in 4 seconds this particular sound is actually vibrating 40 times. So to calculate time period, if you don't want to follow this complicated method, you have one simple formula to find time period. The formula to find time period is T is equal to 1 by F. So 1 by frequency actually gives the time period of that particular vibrations. So here we have got 10 hertz as frequency. So 1 by 10 hertz will give you the time period. So 1 by 10 is actually 0.1. So 0.1 second is actually the time period of this particular vibration. So either you can do this cross multiplication method, or you can use the formula directly after finding frequency of that particular sound, and you can substitute that frequency in this formula and you can actually get the time period here. Coming to the sixth question, actually a mosquito is vibrating its wings 500 times in one particular second. So they have actually asked the time period of this particular vibration. So here 500 vibrations in 1 second means they have actually given the frequency of this particular vibration. So 500 hertz is the frequency of this particular vibration. So now we have frequency and we can substitute this frequency in the formula which I have shown. So formula for time period is T is equal to 1 by F. So substitute this 500 hertz in this frequency and you will actually get the answer. So 1 by 500. So when you actually calculate this 1 by 500, you will get the answer as 0.002. So the time period of this particular vibration is 0.002 seconds. Coming to the seventh question, they have actually asked which part of this particular musical instruments vibrate to produce sound. So coming to the question A, they have actually given dolak. So dolak actually have a stretched membrane in it. So that particular stretched membrane will actually produce the sound. So coming to the B question, they have asked sitar. So the string which is there in this particular sitar will actually produce the vibration. Similarly, coming to the C question, you have flute. So in flute, the outer body of this flute actually vibrates. So the air inside this flute will actually create resonance with the opening which is there in that particular flute. So that actually creates the sound when you blow air through flute. So these are all the answers for this seventh question. Coming to the eighth question, we have to mention the difference between noise and music. So coming to noise, there will be irregular vibrations happening in noise, but in music there will be regular vibrations. So music will be actually melodious to listen. So I'll write melody here, but noise will be very much harsh to listen. So like this you can actually go on mentioning various differences between noise and music. Noise creates pollution and music actually creates some refreshment to our mind. So you can actually mention so many other differences like this between noise and music. And they have asked one more thing in this particular question. Can sometimes music also can turn to be noise? Yes, sometimes music can also become noise. When a person with an improper knowledge in music, if he actually produces vibrations in the musical instrument, the vibrations will be irregular because he doesn't have any knowledge how to play that particular musical instruments. So at that particular point, that particular music will be noise because that person doesn't know how to play that musical instrument. So music also can sometimes become noise. So only a person who has some musical knowledge, when he plays an instrument with his knowledge with a particular regular vibrations, then only the music will be melodious to hear. Coming to the ninth question, they have asked to list the sources of noise. So you can see your surroundings and you can list so many things. You can say vehicles, you can say factories, industries, you can say the traffic which is actually developing in these days in major cities. So all these kind of things are actually producing noise, and this is actually accounting for noise pollution. So you can see your surroundings and you can give such examples. Coming to the 10th question, they have asked how noise pollution is actually bad for human health. This kind of noise pollution can have adverse effects on human beings. It can increase the blood pressure, it can also increase the hypertension, it can also increase certain kind of heart diseases. So this kind of noise pollution is also bad for fetus which is actually growing in mother's womb. So like this there are lot of health problems, health issues coming up because of this noise pollution. So you can list such kind of examples. So coming to the 11th question, they have given a situation where your parents are actually going to buy a house. So there are two particular houses. One house is actually beside a road and the other house is actually 3 lines away from that road. So which house you will suggest for your parents to buy? you should actually suggest a house which is little bit far away from road. When you have road beside your house, whenever there is lot of vehicles traveling on that particular road, you will actually feel lot of noise. So to avoid noise pollution, you should actually buy a house which is actually little bit far away from the road. So you should actually suggest your parents to buy that house which is actually a little bit far away from roadside, so that you can actually avoid noise pollution. So coming to the 12th question, they have asked to write a diagram of larynx. So you can refer textbook for this, where they have given a neat diagram of larynx with different labelings. So you can also explain the function of larynx. Larynx is actually known as human voice box. So only when that particular larynx or human voice box vibrates in a particular mode, then only a particular sound is actually generated. So while breathing out the air, if you produce certain vibrations in your voice box, then only the sound can be heard by others. So like this, human beings can talk to each other. So these are all the functions of larynx, and this is the working of larynx. So you can also explain that working, and you can also explain the diagram of larynx by writing a neat sketch diagram of larynx. For that, you can actually refer your textbook. You can first see the light, and then only you can actually hear thunder after some time. So you should actually give the reason for this. Why light is absorbed first and after thunder is heard? Because light has maximum velocity and sound has lesser velocity compared to light. So if I give the velocity of light, the velocity of light is actually 3 into 10 power 8. That is actually 30 crore meter per second. This much amount of velocity a light will be having. So light travels at this particular velocity. But whereas if you consider the velocity of sound, that is actually somewhere around 340 meter per second. So you can see there is a lot of difference in velocity of light and velocity of sound. So velocity of light is more and the velocity of sound compared to light is less. So that shows why light travels faster than sound. Hence, when clouds actually produces thunder, you can hear the thunder only after seeing lightning. That means lightning will be first, thunder will be next. So this was the explanation for all 13 questions which was there in this particular exercise in this particular chapter. So like this, I will be explaining physics, chemistry and mathematics starting from 8th standard till 12th standard. So if you want to learn physics, chemistry and mathematics, then please do subscribe to my channel and stay tuned with my channel. Thank you.